Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute since I've recorded any kind of video content. Been really busy and sorry. But I wanted to share this video today. It's a little different than our normal productivity stuff that I've been doing on the channel, but there's a lot of audio production stuff, and I think there's a lot of crossover with people who work in creative fields and productivity stuff. So the last video that I posted was a few minutes of some different clips that I put together from a recent service that I mixed live, and wanted to show a board mix of what was happening. So none of that was edited. It did not have any like Pro Tools Logic stuff, no Waves plugins, no tuning. Everything was straight through the console. And I wanted to talk about how I did that. And then I'm going to share a whole song that you can watch with kind of some stream of consciousness text notes that are kind of things I was thinking while I was mixing. It's some stems that I took from one of our worship recordings at the church that I work at. I'm the creative person there, the messaging director, and help with a lot of our production stuff as well. And so we had a worship recording where we track content for our TV and online program. And so we take them in one take, and then someone goes back and masters and mixes those. But I've been working on getting good out of the box through the LR mix audio from the console. And I've been doing audio for a long time, almost 20 years now of audio. I cut my teeth on a Mackie analog console, an Allen & Heath GL 4000, and lots of digital consoles over the years. And so I wanted to do a little bit of a challenge for myself to take those live tracks that we recorded from a worship set and play them back through a console and mix down to a 2-track, to a stereo mix, and see what I could get. And so I took those files from our worship recording from our main auditorium, and I put them on my tracks rig, played them back through Ableton, over Dante, onto a Behringer X32 Producer. Behringer X32 Producer is probably the cheapest console that I could have that has a Dante card in it, but you could do this over USB as well. I just happen to have all the Dante stuff set up, and we had a console that I could borrow and do this. So X32 Producer, $2,000 console, nothing fancy, no external plugins, playing straight back through Dante into the channels just like I would. And I'm going to show you the whole video of the song and some of my thoughts, but I wanted to show you kind of how I set up the show. And so I'm going to switch over here to M32 Edit, which I like using M32 Edit better than X32 Edit just because it looks nicer. You can see the show here, and I have 22 channels, and I didn't even use Vocal 5, so 21 channels of content, which is not a ton. No multi-track stuff. There is a click track that is obviously muted, but that had click and guide, but there were no other tracks. So everything you're hearing happened live and happened in one take. And I just want to walk through just a little bit of my setup here. I'm not going to show like everything. If you want more details about that, maybe I can make a video about how I actually like laid out the console, but I built the show in here and put it on the producer. And so we've got these channels of drums. We've got kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, 3 toms, a hi-hat, and 2 overheads. 2 bass channels. So we've got a DI channel and we have a mic'd channel. The DI channel here is really just to get low end information, which doesn't matter as much on a live stream. But again, I was kind of mixing it for an overall setup that I would use at campus or at a venue. And then this mic channel here, we're getting rid of some of the low end and highlighting some of this higher stuff to get some of that natural sound. I think this recording was with an Ampeg SVT and a 610 cabinet, so very loud and awesome. Sounded awesome. Acoustic guitar, 2 electric guitars, just a little bit of shaping because it was using an amp. And so I did do some shaping from those mics. Keys, very simple key setup, just cut out some at the little 590. And then 4 vocals, which are all pretty similar. I made a few changes based on who was singing that song, male or female vocal range, and stuff like that. These are all KSM9 capsules with Shure wireless, captured into a RedNet, straight into Dante. So a lot of this is Dante straight from the front. And then the drums and stuff the pre's come through a Soundcraft BI3000. So the studio pre's sound pretty good, but a lot of this stuff's captured straight through Dante. And so I played all this back. You can look here. If I go to routing, it's not going to show you that page on here, but you'll just have to believe me that I just put them through the card. All this came to the LR mix, and all that I really did was put a threshold here and a little bit of gain reduction so it didn't blow it out. No EQ, nothing else. So as simple as possible, I did some DCAs. So we've got drums, we've got our band DCA, vocals, effects. This has all 4 of the returns here in this. So I can turn all the effects up and down. Oops, all this right here, like off. If I turn this off, all the effects went off. And then for my main effects, I had a hall reverb for drums and some instruments. And I put a little bit in the vocals too as well, just to give some presence. We have big plate reverb here for that, for the vocals. We've got a short delay and a long delay. One of these I tap kind of a quarter note or something like that. And then this one was a longer, maybe a half note or a dotted quarter, depending on what song it was happening. But this is my long delay for that long vocal throw. This short delay is just adding some extra little depth into the vocals. So as simple as possible, I wanted to build something that I could recreate on literally any console in the world for vocal effects. One cool thing about the X32 that I started using recently, though, is using these dual slots for things like compressors and other effects like a de-esser, or if I was actually streaming this, I'd use the precision limiter and slam that front end with that precision limiter and compressor. But using these, it's not going to show up in the screen there. Sorry, I can't click on them to show you, but you'll just have to believe me. You can see right here, they're on the dual side, and then this one is in stereo. Now this one was really cool. I made a bus here for vocals, and I made a stereo subgroup. So I changed the type to subgroup, which you can see somewhere on here. You can change it. Maybe I changed that on the console. There's a way in here to change it as well, but it's subgroup. And I did some EQ on it, and then I also added this compressor into it. And it is modeling an LA2A compressor, and so I was able to do a good amount of peak reduction and bring that compressor in, which kind of saturated the vocals, and then add some output gain, which was really cool. It gave a real nice glue to those vocals, and it really pushed them forward in the mix and gave me a lot of control over them. But that is kind of it. So a pretty simple mix, honestly, as simple as I can make it. You can see here, these are the sends to the effects. You can see there's the vocals that are sending a lot of effects. There's drums, there's some instruments, right? Everything's got a little bit on it. And then on those DCAs, I've got returns. I put the returns into the DCA so I could control the different effects. You can see the returns here are basically all about at 0. So that is how I tracked everything, and I plugged them into my PreSonus speakers that are sitting here behind me. And I played the song and recorded it over a USB drive. And so what you're about to hear is that in real time. So I didn't go back and do another take. I wanted to keep myself honest. I built the scene, I EQ'd a little bit, and then I mixed, just like I would on a Sunday morning or at a gig with the band. And this is what came of that. So check out the video and leave any comments or questions below. Again, I wanted to do the easiest, most reproducible thing possible. So is the X32 a great console? I mean, for the money, yes. For the features, yes. For the availability, yes. Is it my favorite console in the world? Is it an Allen & Heath D-Live? Is it a Digico? Absolutely not. But you know what? For the price range and for the availability and the affordability, what I wanted to prove was that I could get a good mix that I was pleased with on the cheapest console basically possible. So check out the video. Again, let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts. I'm happy to make more of this content if you're interested in this. If you found my channel through these means, hello, glad you're here. Drop me a like, drop me a follow, however you say that on YouTube these days. I will maybe do more of this kind of stuff in the future if there's interest here, but I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to improve. So check it out. Let me know. There are some mistakes in there that I left in and didn't fix and was honest about it. So this is not me saying, wow, look how good I am. It's really just me saying, hey, I'm trying, I'm learning, I'm getting better. Let's all learn together and encourage one another. So check out this video. Let me know what you think about the song and what you think about everything. Again, all this was mixed on the X32.
was lost, I was blind, I was running out of time. Sin separated, the breach was far too wide. But from the far side of the chasm, you held me in your sight. So you made a way across the great divide, left behind heaven's throne to build it here inside. And there at the cross, you paid the debt I owed, broke my chains, freed my soul. For the first time I had hope. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood applied. Thank you, Jesus, it has washed me white. Thank you, Jesus, you have saved my life, brought me from the darkness into glorious light. You took my place, laid inside my tomb of sin. You were buried for 3 days, but then you walked right out again. And now death has no sting, and life has no end. For I have been transformed by the blood of the Lamb. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood applied. Thank you, Jesus, it has washed me white. Thank you, Jesus, you have saved my life, brought me from the darkness into glorious light. There is nothing stronger than the wonder-working power of the blood, that calls sons and daughters. We are ransomed by our Father through the blood, the blood. There is nothing stronger than the wonder-working power of the blood, the blood. They call sons and daughters. We are ransomed by our Father through the blood, the blood. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood applied. Thank you, Jesus, it has washed me white. Thank you, Jesus, you have saved my life, brought me from the darkness into glorious light. Glory to his name. Glory to his name. There to my heart was the blood applied.